Okay, I'm live. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm late. Hi, Joanne. Hi, you guys. Oops, I misspelled that. Everyone. Oh, my N's not working here. Okay, hi, you guys. Okay, so I have to apologize. I was supposed to start at 2 Eastern Standard Time, and I was out doing self-defense stuff. So anyway, okay, you guys. So since you guys are first, I would ask the questions now before a lot of them start coming in. So I had a couple that came in. Oh, do I not have my phone? Oh, actually, I have my phone. So somebody actually asked a question earlier. I'm going to turn my phone on here. Hello, Mrs. J. Hi, Kia. Hi, Joanne. Where are you guys coming from? Garima. How to use medallic acid, whether to keep it on or wash off after a few minutes. I'm assuming you mean mandelic acid, which is derived from almonds. If it's an actual acid, like peel, acid solution, first of all, follow the directions on there. If it's a professional level one and you've never used a peel before, then you have to, I would only use it at the least amount. So typically, if it's a professional peel, you don't want to go any more than 7 minutes. That's like very generally speaking. So California, okay, yes, that's where I'm from, but I'm on the East Coast. Greece, okay. Ramon, you say you're a big fan, but I've never seen you comment, so I don't. Welcome from Denmark. How many times a week should I use hyaluronic acid? I used to take it every day. Okay, so do you mean like apply it or actually take it as a supplement? Because you could actually use both. Vitamin C should be placed before or after hyaluronic acid. Okay, so vitamin C is actually very different because it depends on the type that you use, because there's very different ones. There's oil soluble ones, and then there's water soluble. And some of the vitamin C is actually a vitamin C derivative that should always go on directly onto your skin after you exfoliate. Let it dry before you layer onto the next one. The ones that have vitamin C serum with hyaluronic acid, so typically it will be vitamin C, ferulic acid, and hyaluronic acid, or vitamin C, vitamin E, and hyaluronic acid. If you're using, like, let's say you're using tretinoin, or vitamin A, that goes on first, and then the vitamin C. But if you're just using a vitamin C serum, that always should go directly on the skin. Wait for about 10 minutes for absorption rate, because if you use vitamin C serum, not a vitamin C derivative, but vitamin C serum, and then you put hyaluronic acid serum on top of it, you're diluting the pH of it, and that vitamin C has to be acidic for it to be effective. So that's a good question, Mrs. J. That's a good question. From Spokane, Washington. Okay, Ahmad. Hi from Indonesia. I have pimples on my jawline, and at times it's very itchy. Oh, that kind of sounds like Kia maskne. But if you're not wearing a mask a lot, and typically you have breakouts on your jawline, that is generally speaking, and I always have to say generally speaking because I don't know your skin, is that's androgen driven. So that means stress. So men and boys will typically always get it here because, you know, they have higher testosterone levels. When women get it on their jawline or up here, it's typically because of stress, because when you stress, you produce more androgen in your blood, which then leads to more testosterone, and the sebum in your skin gets thicker and it's stickier. On my nose and cheek, nothing seems to work to get rid of them. What do you recommend? Dark age spots on my nose and your cheeks. If that's age spots, then you do have to exfoliate every day, typically with something, if you don't have sensitive skin, with glycolic acid. Let's see. You have to make it acidic and exfoliate. If you can find exfoliation products that have phytic acid, which is derived from rice, and then after you rinse that off and then you put the lightener on there, that actually helps increase the lightening agents. What is the best chemical peel for dry skin with closed comedones? Okay, so closed meaning like white, like congestion. So that's glycolic acid will be the best. But glycolic acid tends to be more reactive with people who have sensitive skin. So if that is you, then start lower. Start with an acid that has a bigger molecule, okay? I'm wearing a mask, so that's probably related to maskne. I never dilute products with others. Okay, do you think it's okay to use different active ingredients every single day? Again, that depends on what the product is, what your skin type is, how oily your skin is as well, because if you have drier skin, the acids tend to work, they penetrate faster. How do I get rid of my eye tear troughs? Well, you have to have that to produce the, I'm not sure if the question is phrased, not phrased correctly. Hi, Gemma? There is to prevent acne related to premenstrual syndrome, hormone related. Thanks. Okay, so look at your breakouts. When your breakouts are, when you have red breakouts or red breakouts with pus, those are usually bacteria driven. When you have white, when they're closed comedones, that's a congestion issue. That's a desquamation issue. The desquamation is the rate of your skin cell turnover rate. So you have to use glycolic acid to speed that up because the dead skin cells are clogging the pores versus the red ones, that's bacteria driven, okay? So, and fungal acne looks different. I don't know how to explain it, but if you Google what fungal acne looks like, that is yeast overgrowth, okay? Let's see. Gosh, there's a lot of them here. Use sunscreen, every wrinkle I have accentuated. My skin is very sensitive. I have to use mineral sunscreen. I'm at my wit's end. Okay, so zinc oxide is typically what you're using, and because it's a physical sunscreen and it could be titanium dioxide, it stays on top of the skin. What you may want to do is use the one that is it's reef safe and micronized. So they're smaller particles, okay? They're nanoparticles, but they are reef safe. So you got to look at that, because if it's nanoparticles and it doesn't say that it's reef safe, then obviously it's not. So there is a more advanced one, and the one that I'm familiar with, I don't know how they label it here, but it's like the scientist that developed it is called Shintetsu. So let's see. Have you used the PLLA serum mask combo after? And if so, oh, I missed it. Oh, treatment have you most bang for the buck? I couldn't read the other part of the question. It kind of went, it's too fast. Treat my husband, something about Botox. Okay, let's see. Serums are excellent to reduce pores. Okay, thing about pores is the pore size is genetic. However, you can minimize the appearance of your pores. So typically, not always, but typically the bigger the pore size, the oilier your skin is. And so if you're not exfoliating regularly to allow the sebum to get on top of the skin and dissolve. So if it stays in your pore, the pore starts to stretch the size. And so once you extract, obviously the pore can, it'll look smoother. So generally, if you have larger pores, the best way to minimize the appearance of the pores is to exfoliate regularly. And the best way to do that is with an AHA and BHA combination. So glycolic acid, vitamin A, the retin A, and or doesn't have to be both, and salicylic acid. Okay, I'm in Wyoming. Yay! Let's see. Why no matter what cleanser I use, my skin always feels stripped. You got to look at the ingredients. So if it has any type of sulfates in it, that's going to typically strip your skin. And you'll see more of that in cleansers that are for oily skin. If you see things that have coconut-based or coconut sugar-based foaming agents, it won't do that because it won't strip your skin, okay? Can L-glutamic acid powder be used in do-yourself serums? That depends on the recipe of your serum. Because you have to use stabilizers and emulsifiers to dissolve it if it's like the powder form. To use on your skin. Again, it depends on your recipe and how you formulate the product. This is my first. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, Ramon. Well, welcome. I appreciate you joining in and asking. It was a very good question. I appreciate that. Do you consider salicylic acid, glycolic acid, etc., natural or plant-based products? Okay, so a lot of them are plant-based. However, some of the ingredients can be manufactured in the lab now. So like, for example, glycolic acid is derived generally from fermented sugar. Lactic acid is typically from fermented milk. And salicylic is from willow bark. But some of them can be manufactured in the lab now. I can't choose between lactic acid, azelaic acid, and glycolic acid. Which one do you prefer? Well, again, it depends on your skin type and what other products that you are using before that step. So, I mean, you could do glycolic acid cleanser and a glycolic acid peel or glycolic acid leave-on if your skin is acclimated to that and your skin is not sensitive. If your skin is sensitive, if you are a Fitzpatrick 1 or 2 skin type, if you don't know what that is, go ahead and look that up. Then you're going to have to start with maybe like a more gentle form. And when it means gentler, the molecules in the acids are smaller, so it can't penetrate the stratum corneum as faster and dissolve the dead skin as well as the sebum. Okay, so I know that you're looking for a specific answer, and you can find peels that actually are combination, so you can work your way up if your skin allows it to build up that tolerance. PMB, yay. Well, I haven't done really a lot of the lives. I just was testing it out actually the last time. So I think I'm going to do them once a month because as more and more comments come in, I don't see a lot of them because there's just so many of them. So I do this so at least if you can actually catch me live and you have a very specific question, then I can answer them. Let's see. For nighttime, I exfoliate 3 times a week. I use a peptide 2 times a week at night and retinoid and hyaluronic acid. Once morning, I use green tea, vitamin C. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Okay. So again, I don't know your skin. You have to remember if someone's routine makes their skin look amazing, it doesn't mean that it's going to make your skin look amazing because everyone's pH is a little bit different. And like I said before, on the pH scale, like let's just say from 6 to 7. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it is actually a lot. Luna, what a cute name. What's best for dry skin in the winter? So do you mean like a cleanser or an exfoliator or a moisturizer? So what is the specific thing? Melasma is the same as hyperpigmentation, Saudi Arabia. So Garima, I think that's right. You can use the same ingredients, but when somebody has melasma versus just some uneven skin tone, let's just say I'm covering the whole spectrum of skincare. Melasma is the toughest to treat versus somebody who just has uneven skin tone. If you have just uneven skin tone, with using the right exfoliator, using it regularly and consistently at night will even that out. But hyperpigmentation, or I should say melasma, especially if they have darker skin, you have to go slower. And that's what's really frustrating for a lot of my clients that have it, is they want that instant result, and you're not going to be able to get that. Let's see. Do you offer in-person consultation? I do, and it's on my website. Go see Christy, Christy, beauty.com. And I take specific types of clients. So if you are somebody who likes to experiment and try things and bounce around, this really is not for you. This is somebody who can follow directions very carefully and is patient. So if you are someone that says, I don't have time to be patient, I want instant results, this is not going to be best for you. Okay. So I do have some clients that I have made videos upcoming for their before and after results. These are just coming in so quick. Do you think that's okay for long time? I didn't catch the last part of it. Goodness gracious. What's your opinion on iod superoxide dismutase saccharide mist? I haven't tried it, so I don't know. Also, again, it just depends on your skin type. Oh, Harsh, Sisodia, hi. Let's see. What skincare routine would you recommend for combination oily skin in the winter? Oh, that's a good question. I live in a cold climate. So this is one thing that I do with my clients is that depending on your skin type and your climate, you can actually use 2 different cleansers as well as moisturizers depending on what your skin is telling you. So you have to look at skincare products like clothes. So the hotter it is, you're going to wear lighter clothes. So you need lighter based products. And then if you're in a season where it's kind of hot one day, cold the next day, going back and forth, you can use the lighter products. So for example, hyaluronic acid gel would be for the days that you're sweating more. And then like, let's say the next day you're just using that, but then the next day it's cold and your skin feels kind of tighter because you're producing less sebum, then you can work your way up to a milk moisturizer if you have oily skin, from a water-based one. And then for those of you who have drier skin, you use a heavier cream. And you can even mix and match the areas of your skin. So the T-zone will get the lighter products, and then the cheek area, which is typically the drier area, you will get the heavier products. How to deal with pigmentation on lips besides using sun protection? Well, okay, so it's kind of interesting with the pigmentation on lips is you can don't use the leave-on ones because obviously your lips you have a different type of tissue there and skin, it's thinner. So I would use like a scrub that has maybe some lactic acid, like the Illuma. Here, I'll put this in here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see here. It's the Image Illuma exfoliating powder. Oops. So look that up. That one works really effectively because lactic acid is very hydrating. So you have to do that consistently, and then you have to wear a lip product that has sunscreen in the lip product. So try to look for one that doesn't have the chemical-based sunscreen, and it's using zinc oxide and titanium dioxide as the sun protection. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice compliment. Thank you. Would you recommend women in their 30s receiving fillers? That is a personal choice. I don't use, I mean, obviously, I don't use any fillers. I don't like to tell people what to do for the, I mean, it's what you feel comfortable with. Um, Vitamin C to use. Okay, so I'm almost done with the SkinCeutical. I tell you, I mean, I'm sure it's a great product and some people responded really well to it, but I didn't really, for the price of it, I didn't really see that much difference. The one that I used beforehand, which was higher in the resveratrol, my skin looked better with that than the SkinCeutical one. So I'm not saying SkinCeutical is a bad product, but like for the price of it, I didn't really see a whole lot of difference. So let's see. Korean skincare in general. Okay, so in general, it's just like American skincare. You have your lower end ones and you have your higher end ones. The advanced ones are really good. I feel like the Korean, as far as the advanced skincare, the scientific based ones are more advanced. The one thing I don't like is they do like their fragrances. So even though they smell fresh, they have some lower end ones too. So you have to be careful. Just because it's K brand skincare, it does not mean that it's good. You still have to look at the ingredients just like you would with any other skincare. I have found that Asian skincare brands and European ones love their fragrances. So, hi, nameless name. How are you? Let's see. I can't. Oh. So congested skin after using beta hydroxy for about 3 months. Oh, the reason why you have congested skin with beta hydroxy acids is because that's not what it's for. You have to use AHAs, so alpha hydroxy acids. So what that means is use a glycolic acid scrub that you would use in the evening. So beta hydroxy acids are not as effective as dissolving skin as that's more for dissolving some skin cells and oil, but glycolic acid is usually better for that. But lip product with sunscreen, it's usually over SPF 15. Oh man, I'm not. Oh gosh, say after I skip. Sorry, and indoors, so I should use hyaluronic acid. And indoors, so I should. No, you could use hyaluronic acid if you have dry skin. You can use it. You just have to put on a lotion or something to keep it from evaporating on top. Evaporating the hyaluronic acid on there. You may want to use the polyglutamic acid. That might be better for your skin. Everyone's skin responds a little bit differently. Skin looks at me. Oh, thank you. You know what it is, you guys, with the whole skin thing is you got to use your sunscreen, obviously, but you have to eat well. Because you have to remember what you eat it regenerates to make tissue, collagen, elastin, all these cells. So if you're eating poorly, you're going to make you're going to have more inflammation in your skin as well as your joints. Let's see. I dry brush my body. It's safe to dry brush the face. No, avoid using the dry brush for the face. Oh, you're welcome. Are toners essential? Okay, they're not essential. Toners are not essential. It just depends where you are, the climate that you are in, and what products that you are using. When I'm in a hurry, I do skip the toner part, but I personally use my specific toner. There's some toners for breakout prone skin that actually make it worse because of the witch hazel, and it depends on the ingredients and the pH of it. Some toners are created to increase the efficacy of the serums that you're using, and other ones are simply just like a mist. Like some people have sent over like ingredients list, and it doesn't do much, and it just adds one extra step. So it just depends on that particular product. Let's see. Nanoparticles SPF is really bad on your skin. Does it really cause cancer? I have not seen any published papers on that. So if you actually have found them, please put the link below. Okay, let's see. I haven't really used tea tree oil products in years because I heard it makes men grow boobs, but I heard that was what? No, no, no. No, that doesn't. No. Okay, let's see. What moisturizer? Oh, gosh. Would recommend for anti-aging with sensitive skin. Sensitive skin is very complicated because everyone's definition of sensitive skin depends. Anti-aging, because a lot of the anti-aging, what falls under anti-aging is typically things that increase the skin cell turnover rate. So I'll give you an example, and this is very, very generally speaking. If you are looking into retin A for anti-aging, I wouldn't start right off with retin A. Maybe I would start off with retinol or glycolic acid or even lactic acid first, okay? Then lactic acid, glycolic acid combination, or lactic acid and salicylic acid first, excuse me, second, and then maybe to glycolic acid, then to retinol, and then ultimately, if you can tolerate and you like it, you can do retin A. But retin A is not the answer to everything. I don't use retin A. I can't use retin A. I can't even use retinol. So it just depends on the person. Let's see. Oh gosh, I'm skipping a lot of these because they're going so fast. Can you recommend a glycolic acid exfoliant? Okay, so I personally, and this is based on my experience and my clients, the response rate of my clients. Doesn't mean it's you, but I don't personally like the leave-on exfoliants unless it's like I've treated people who have back knee, like really bad acne on the back, or like congested bumpy skin on the chest or the back of the arms, then a leave-on glycolic acid product works well with that. For the skin, there's a very small percentage that is, but I like the one that's called this one here. You can look it up, and I don't know what country you're from. Oops, resurfacing mask. Oh, stomach is growling. Mask. Spell it like this. And this isn't the only one. But that one has a blend of glycolic acid, salicylic acid, phytic acid. There's different acids in there, but they also have anti-inflammatory products in there. And you can use it, it depends on the cleanser, but you can use it in your cleanser. You can use it straight as a scrub and a mask. So for those of you who need to build up the tolerance of the acids, it has more flexibility than just a rinse or just a leave-on exfoliant, which can be really upsetting to the skin if you have sensitive skin. Okay, let's see. Vertical. Oh gosh, you guys. Fragrance are just so irritating. Don't have to make the product smell good, but some ingredients called fragrance and have benefit for the skin. Yeah, I mean, that just depends on your personal preference. So fragrance, again, across the board, fragrance is not bad, but a lot of times they don't explain what the fragrance is. Like with me, with some of the clinical companies that I work with, I actually ask them, you know, have you tested this on sensitive skin? Like, what does it do? I have a lot of hyperpigmentation clients, and when interact with UV exposure over time, they start to get that kind of, it's called fragrance-induced hyperpigmentation because it has a certain look to it. Let's see. True Skin Vitamin has high rating at Amazon. Do you recommend it? I don't know. I haven't tried that one, so I can't give an opinion on that. Hi, Carolyn. From ferment or extract. That's okay. That the fragrance made from ferment or extract is okay. You have the hydrating gel pen for thirsty skin in your store. Oh, so you guys, I'm not at home. I'm actually in Georgia, clear across the United States. So when I get back, there's a shipment waiting for me. So I have to put that in my store. I put on there when people check out that I'm not there and orders will be processed I think it's the Tuesday I get back or something. So the Tuesday I get back, Allie. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. The texture of my face does not look smooth. My face is oily, but not bumpy. The voice is oily. Texture of skin doesn't look smooth. Okay, so you still have to exfoliate, it sounds like, because you've got several, layers of maybe dead skin on there. So it's just exfoliation. Whenever the surface of the skin is not smooth, it's just telling you that you have to exfoliate. Jenica toner. I don't know. I'm not really sure about. That one depends. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I take that back. The COS RX. I did have a client use that, and they had fungal acne, and we took that one out. Fungal acne was gone. So again, it depends. Is the percentage of active mineral ingredients like zinc and titanium important? Yes, it should be around 20%. Also, is non-nano best for your health? Doesn't go into your bloodstream? Possibly. I like the micronized versus nano. So micronized basically means it doesn't, it's smooth. It doesn't have that like white cast, but it's not nano. So let's see. Oh, goodness. What about after dermal rolling care? How fast to layer vitamin C serum and hyaluronic serum? Thank you. Again, for sensitive skin, if you have sensitive skin, I don't recommend dermal rolling or vitamin C together because your skin can get irritated. I will be doing a video on a nano pen, which is much better than dermal rolling for generally the general public. Okay. Let's see. How effective is vitamin A on Fitzpatrick 5 skin? So that, for those of you who don't know, that's on the darker end of the spectrum. Okay, so effective vitamin A Fitzpatrick 5 skin for what? So for anti-aging or for hyperpigmentation or for congestion of the skin? Then a career question. I enjoy doing facials and I want to add services in the future. What would you recommend that is complementary to facials? This is dependent upon the skincare line that you use, because some skincare lines are pretty advanced. So you can use their advanced serums as an upgrade to boost the efficacy, or if you're using machines. For those of you professionals, because I know I have a high amount of professionals that watch my my videos. Okay, when somebody comes in and they want to do a more aggressive service like a peel or microdermabrasion with peel, and this is your first time working with them, I don't ever do that on someone that just walks in and says, I want a microdermabrasion, because you're the professional, they are not. So you have to assess their skin, and then you have them do a facial, see how their skin responds to that facial, okay? And then have them come back to do a more aggressive, because you have to see how their skin responds. And I understand that as professionals, you are afraid that you're going to lose their business, but it is not worth it to you as a professional to do something where they come back and their skin is worse, because you cannot repair the damage that could potentially be done. So I always explain to them why I'm doing this facial, and you have to assess, right? With assessing the questionnaire, looking under a Woods lamp or dermoscope, whatever that you're using, and then doing a regular facial and seeing how their skin responds. Remember, when they walk in and they want to do something, they don't know their skin like you're going to know their skin. And the only way that you know about their skin is how their skin responds to that professional treatment. I have turned away, over the course of years, lots of people who've come in insisting they wanted a glycolic peel. They had melasma, and it was in the middle of summer in Southern California. And I said, nope, I'm not going to do that, because I'm a professional and I understand how the skin works, and they may go somewhere else, and let them go somewhere else. Okay, live in Georgia. What kind of hydration can I use for dry skin in winter? Here in Georgia, it's cold. So if the humidity is high, you can use hyaluronic acid. You can use, you may need to use a toner on top of that. Use a hydrating serum that has a high amount of humectants. Okay, then you put the toner on top, because those humectants needs that moisture. So molecularly, it's going to be attracted to that moisture. And then you're going to use a cream on top of it to keep it from evaporating on the skin. If you have oily skin, then you may even want a hydrating serum that's cream-based for those of you who have oily skin in the winter. Okay. Is zinc really good for healing the skin? Yes. I took it after. Oh, you mean ingesting it? As it heals the skin, help my rosacea also. But is it recommended to take it daily? Yes. Yes. And then you don't want to take zinc when you take vitamin C along with it because it will decrease the absorption rate of the zinc. So you have to look at your multivitamin if it has vitamin C and zinc. I mean, you have to remember, people, when they sell the multivitamin, it's because people want convenience. So if it has a high amount of vitamin C and then it also has zinc, don't take it. Because you have to wait at least 30 minutes, I think, or even orange juice. And you know how sometimes grapefruit juice can decrease absorption rate. Okay. Oh, Kathleen, you're so sweet. Patera, is that what that is, Mrs. J? Is that like a skincare line? Gosh. So Allie, okay, so I'm saying with the hydrating gel, it's going to be in by next week. Called cost ordinary, but much more cheaper and have more options than the ordinary. Are you interested to talk about cost? Is it Baja? I've never heard of that, so I'm not sure. So just you guys, just to let you know, I only know, I don't have an extensive knowledge on retail products because I work more with clinical skincare lines. I'm more familiar with that, just some of them. So, peptides, it changed my skin forever. I'm using downstairs, so obsessed with it. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad. I hope these Q&As are working because I feel like sometimes I'm trying to cover as many people as I can and all these questions. Is snail mucus useful? What does it do for your skin? Okay, so that's kind of like a marketing thing too. Snail mucus has a high amount of humectants, just like anything else. It also has some polysaccharides in there, which can be manufactured. There's nothing magical about snail mucus, okay? I mean, because if you look a lot of the times in them, it's just part of the ingredients list, and they'll still add more humectants in there. Moisturizers and came from gel form and emulsion form. Okay, so that just depends on your skin type. So water-based gel type moisturizers tend to work, not always, but tends to work better for more people who have oily skin because their issue is not lipids. They're not lipid poor. Okay, if they're using acne products, which you know, they tend to water-based moisturizers tend to do better with people who have oily skin. The cream-based, more solid forms that are lipid-rich, oil-rich tend to do better with drier skin. Let's see. Okay, phosphorus scintilla. Okay. I'm not really sure what that means. Sean, can you please tell some of the ordinary acids for layering for melasma? Okay, so I'm assuming you're talking about the leave-on acids for the ordinary, and again with the ordinary, for layering with melasma. If you're just going to use ordinary and you don't have sensitive skin, and again, I'm talking generally speaking, then go with the glycolic acid leave-on, right? Then you can layer that on top of it with the arbutin if you would like. Okay, a couple of my clients had melasma. They were using arbutin and then they were using also hydroquinone, and they were, I mean, just a combination of things. Arbutin works better, it seems like, over time. yeah, it tends to like fade, but then it gets to a certain point and then they need something stronger. Now, those people the people that I'm talking specifically about, they were Fitzpatrick 4 and 5. So again, it just depends on that. And also arbutin is better for managing hyperpigmentation like in the summer. It is the fermented rice. Let's see, you can. Okay, I don't know if that was a question or not. Are fermented rice products good for the skin? It can be because it has phytic acid, and phytic acid is a tyrosinase inhibitor. So tyrosinase is an enzyme that we make, and it helps turn the melanin to turn brown or darker. The thing with fermented rice, because of the byproducts of it as sugar, some, not all, some skin types tend to break out. So then they say, I thought this was good for my skin and I'm getting more pustules. So obviously for those types of people, it doesn't work for their skin. Also, if you're using an alkaline cleanser, so that means the pH of the cleanser is a 6 or higher. So if they're using an alkaline cleanser and they don't use anything acidic and then they put the fermented rice wash, even people who have normal skin, they'll maybe start to experience some pustules, and that is why. Because their skin's pH is not acidic to start off with before they put that fermented rice water. Let me see. I'm good. Clinically, what is best for peeling for all skin types? For peeling, okay, so there's no such thing as really for all skin types. There are products that work good for most skin types, but I've never come across a product yet that is like for all skin types. It's kind of like I used to explain to my clients, it's kind of like a tube top. So for those of you who don't know what a tube top is, it's a top that typically women wear that like just covers like their bust area and then maybe down to their midriff. And a tube top will say fits all sizes. Okay, come on. No, not really, right? Some women are, bustier, so they need a larger one to, have more coverage. So there's nothing that's all. But if you want to start off one that works better for most skin types, then it would be lactic acid. Gosh, I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, thank you. How does one deal with products labeled apply to clean, dry skin in desert type weather? Using vitamin C seems especially irritating in this dry environment, combo oily. Okay, so let's say you're exfoliating, right, to increase absorption rate of any type of serums, and then you're actually using vitamin C, which is the L-ascorbic acid, okay? So that's a low pH. And then you are using, let's just say, a chemical sunscreen, and then you're exposing your skin to UV rays. That's where it can get more irritated. So even though they say to use vitamin C during the day, depending on what your skin type is and what you're using before and after the serum and where you live, for you, I would use actually a vitamin C derivative for you. So maybe like a vitamin C serum with hyaluronic acid and a derivative, so it's more milder. You're still getting the benefits of the vitamin C. You won't see the results as fast as vitamin C, but then you'll decrease your inflammation. And the hyaluronic acid will help with the moisture, just as long as you put something on like a hydrating sunscreen moisturizer. So that will keep the hyaluronic acid from trying to pull that moisture from deep within your skin to the top of your skin. Drier climates they're just harder on your skin. Okay, let's see. Can I use a hyaluronic acid, then a hydrating toner, then apply? Yes, Allie, yes, you can. If I'm using ordinary vitamin C serum and niacin zinc serum, does it cancel each other out? It seems to have done wonders for my rosacea. Okay, so you don't want to use the zinc with the vitamin C. So use one at the other end of the spectrum on the, one on the opposite end of the daytime. So one is at daytime, one is at nighttime. Let me see. I'm Asian, and I think glycolic acid is not good for darker skin. Some docs suggest using alpha-arbutin, then niacinamide, then azelaic acid, vitamin C, then gram-active retinoid, and lastly, gosh, moisturizer. Alpha-arbutin, then niacinamide, retinoid, lastly moisturizer. Okay, the darker your skin is, okay, the simpler you have to get. Because darker skin, when it gets inflamed, instead of turning red like the lower spectrum of the Fitzpatrick scale, they're hyperpigmentation. So that's a sign that the skin is inflamed. So to answer your question, this also depends on if it's summertime or wintertime. I would skip the azelaic acid or use a rinse-off product, that you would use as exfoliating, then put the vitamin C, then the gram-active retinoid. But again, it depends on, because when you say Asians, there's Asians that are very, very fair skin to all the way to very, very dark. So, it just depends. This message is held for review. I don't know what that means. Okay. How do I get rid of my hard whiteheads on my sensitive skin? Okay, if it's super hard, it sounds like it's like milia. What you may want to do, Joanne, is, okay, if you've already used lactic acid and the lactic acid is not working for you and your skin is not reacting to that, then find a product that has lactic acid and not a straight glycolic acid, but a combination of the acid, so it's kind of diluted more. Then use that once a week. Then the following week, use it 2 times a week. No reaction still, 3 times a week, and increase the frequency of it. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. With peptides to look out for. You are going to see, if you haven't already, those of you who are already in the profession, is you're going to start to see more peptides and more EGFs, which is epidermal growth factors. And I have a video that's coming out for that with that one. Let's see. Again, with the peptides, it just depends on your skin. Let's say you have like really saggy skin and peptides will help. But if you're looking for a night cream or a magical product that is going to fix it, it's not. You're going to have to use more invasive procedures. And if you're against it, that's totally fine. I mean, it's up to you. But when you see these commercials for these magical cream or serum and you have significant sagging or significant wrinkling and you think it's just going to, just by using the product, work with that one thing, it doesn't. That I've seen. Are the microcurrent home use devices helpful long-term for lifting the skin? Yes, but to a certain extent. And LED light home devices, are they powerful enough to see the results? Okay, that's a really general question because it depends on what kind of light that they're using and how really powerful it is. You'll have to remember a lot of the at-home devices are for home use, so they can only go to a certain point. And then the ones for professionals are obviously much stronger because they are trained in it and they're also trained in the type of skin that you have. And after assessing the health of your skin, what your skin conditions are, can they make the decision for what type of light to use on your skin? So that's the difference. Under eye lines, what should I use? Okay, so here's something that's a little bit complicated with under eye lines. Are they fine lines that when you are expressionless, you don't have the fine lines, or do you have the fine lines when you smile? Or are they actually wrinkles? Because what I've learned doing this for over 12 years is some people consider their wrinkles that are actual wrinkles fine lines. And some people who don't have any lines, but when they smile, those are actually fine lines. And then if you have oily skin, the creams, the eye creams, that typically may have higher amount of peptides in them or some collagen stimulating ingredient in there will work, and other times it does not. Because I've had people say the Retin-A didn't work for their fine lines, and then other people said the vitamin C worked better for their fine lines. So it just depends on the type of skin that you have and what type of ingredients are in the product. Oh, and how long you waited before you started using products on your skin. The younger you are, the earlier you start, the more responsive your skin will be. For example, microcurrent, when I have a client that comes in and she's in her early 20s and she uses microcurrent, typically they tell you you need to use it consistently for a few weeks to start seeing some visible results. But those 20-year-olds, you can actually see a slight difference really quickly, and it will last longer, like up to a month. So it's just because their skin is still buoyant, you know. Let's see. Bad for melasma skin problems. No, microcurrent. Now, be careful now. Microcurrent is different from radio frequency, okay, and light therapy. And then even with light therapy, are you using blue light? Are you using red light? But microcurrent can actually increase the absorption rate. That is what I found. If you see some of my videos that I have on that, you can actually see it really like a visible change on their face. What do you think about algae seed? Oh gosh, where did that go? Something about the seaweed extract. Oh, let's. Okay, I don't know where that went. Okay. Where do you have your store? AM in Massachusetts? Oh, you're in Massachusetts. Okay, so my place is my practice. I actually had a brick and mortar store in Southern California, and then I retired last December, and I only do online because I had no life. I mean, I was working 14 hours a day, so now I do online consultations with virtual. They start off basically, my online consultation basically is they have to answer a very extensive questionnaire. And then after I assess that, I have them take photos of their face, and it gives specific instructions on that. And then I meet with them. And then after two to 3 weeks or 4 weeks even, depending on what condition their skin is after the protocol, I do a video analysis of their skin where it's kind of live and I can see their skin, and then monitor their progress. And sometimes I have to take out a product, change the product out, skip a step. It just depends because everyone is so different. So it's that one actually takes more time on my side versus the when I was doing it in person, because obviously I could see them and ask them questions right away. The online actually takes more time, but I have to do it that way because obviously I'm not face to face. So Claudia, to answer your question, if you want to do one, you can go to, this website, and you can find the online consultation tab or something like that, and then it gives you all the information. I have acne prone skin, and where this cold weather, my hyperpigmentation really shows up and looks purplish. Ooh. Any advice? I think my skin is perpetually dehydrated and not well moisturized. Okay, Janelle, I would want to know what kind of skincare product you're using. Purplish, that's like that is like long-term inflammation. I'd have to see it. But when you get to like purple, that's heavy-duty inflammation. What can I layer with my peptide serum at night? Can I use retinoids with it? Okay, so that depends on the retinoids. Do you mean like straight up retin-A or like a cream or what do you mean? Oh, you're welcome, Joanne. What do you think about, can I scroll this? Let's see it. Algae extract, platinum, gold, and caviar that usually in luxurious skincare product. Okay, so this one is an easy one. Okay, so algae seaweed extract. That is a binder. They use that, and it's also a humectant. Some people who are very sensitive to iodine can break out with that, and so you know who you are. And there's also different types of seaweed extract. There's red algae, brown algae, green algae. But it is a humectant. You can actually see some of it even in, I don't know why. Well, it makes this ice cream thicker. You'll see it like, sorry, I'm bumping the table. Carrageenan. So it is a very healthy humectant and a thickener. You see it in a lot of different products, even like in food too. So it is and it's also anti-inflammatory. So I actually eat a lot of it. If you've ever worked with seaweed before, the certain type called wakame, it's like plush. Where did that go? So, and iodine naturally is an anti-inflammatory, but again, for some people, they actually end up breaking out. Where did that one go? Gold is also an anti-inflammatory as well. Caviar. So the reason why they use caviar is because of the cholesterol that's in the caviar. And obviously, for obvious reasons, it's expensive if they're truly using caviar. It's because of the cholesterol that's in and the fatty acids that's in the caviar. For skin. What do all of these anti-aging procedures seem impossible to do even if you could? Yeah, I mean, so it's not, there's so many different ways, there's so many different skin types that not everybody responds the same way. So I am not somebody who is a proponent of you must use this one anti-aging and it's good for everybody, because all professionals out there know, if any professionals out there know, if you have experience working in all different skin types and you're thinking, man, I hate when people say this is the holy grail. There's no such thing as the holy grail, because if you actually worked on thousands and thousands of skin types, you know that what one ingredient may work really well with one skin type may not work well with another skin type. So there's no such thing. And if you hear that, then make sure that your ears go up, because you're like, I wonder. Because based on my experience, when a skincare company says that, that's their marketing tool. So the first thing I would look to is look at the ingredients. And then based on your experience, you professionals out there who are listening, is, okay, my experience is that iodine for a small percentage of people actually breaks them out. So then you're like, okay, so those skin types, I cannot use this one particular ingredient, but this may work really well with my rosacea client, or with, I'm going to just name a name, Susie, right? Oh, Susie it'll work really well with her skin because you have experience working on the skin. So that's why it's really complicated when you're doing these videos, because you don't see that person on the other side of the video, and they're asking the question, and you don't know what their skin history is either. Let's see. Gosh, think about the ordinary moisturizing factors and grand active retinoid emulsion. The ordinary moisturizing factor, I found, okay, this is what's really confusing. Okay. Acne people who are using lots of things to absorb their oil, that moisturizing factor, for some of them, they actually really broke out. And then I had this one client who was using a lot of water-based products. We got their oil and water balance really good, and the moisturizing factor was okay, but what they didn't break them up, but what they didn't like is it made them too shiny. So I said, okay, why don't you use it just on your cheeks and then keep using the gel-based one, my hydrating gel treatment, on the T-zone, and that seemed to work. So, and again, it depends on the person. Let's see, what do you think? Oh, I already read that. How so does rice water really lighten the skin? If yes, how should it be applied? Okay, so when you're lightening the skin, it's not just one product. You have what I found best with, generally speaking, with most of the clients is that you layer the different lightening products on the skin, because when an ingredient absorbs into the skin, you have multi-layers in the skin. Each layer that it goes into, it dilutes the ingredient. Less and less goes in. And the irony of it is more of it needs to get into the source of where the melanin or the pigment is formed. So just using rice water, just using phytic acid, just using hydroquinone or whatever typically has limited results. Oh, Victoria. So Victoria, for those of you who don't know, she is my editor and she is fairly new to my team. Hi, Victoria. Thank you for watching. And I don't require them to watch my videos. Are PRP plasma facials really good for the skin rejuvenation in the long run? Okay, that is a very good question. I actually try to look this up. There is studies that the skin is responding well to people who have used this, not just once, when they were in this clinical study. Long-term, I could not find a paper what's considered long-term. Okay, so clinical trials typically are in increments of 4, 6, 8, and 12 weeks. Typically, some of them go longer, but that is the standard that you'll see. So when you say long-term, I'm not sure. I have not seen it. So if you have links to papers that do, please put them in the links. Okay. Okay. What do you think of things? Oh, bird's nest in Korean skincare products. They're just a form of humectants that also have a good amount of polysaccharides, which are humectants. Okay. I have no idea what that means. What is the opinion on sunless tanning products? I started wearing sunscreen every day a few months ago, but now I look really pale and I prefer the tan look on me. So sunless tanning products basically use an ingredient. You'll see it in all of them. And it basically, the protein and sugar in your skin, it works with that to turn it, tan, right? Sometimes orange, depending on the ingredients that you're using. It's fine. I mean, because it basically, as your skin sloughs off, that's why you get that uneven color or whatever. It works on the surface layer of the skin, so it should be fine. Microcurrent makes melasma worse. Should I use blue light device? So microcurrent, if it's on low and if you're using something like MyoLift, it actually helps increase it actually helps even out skin tone. It is anything that has heat in it that can increase the pigmentation formation. So blue light tends to work better with oily skin or breakout prone skin, I have found. I'm 69 and my skin is pretty good shape. Good. Spot on my forehead that I can switch this weekend. Still has stuff exfoliating off. Okay, that's because you're constantly, you're constantly making new skin cells. Where did it go? I could do it every day, and it flakes off. It's still, I guess, still flakes come off. Yeah, I mean that's normal. I mean, Linda, have you checked to see that it's not actinic keratosis? To make sure that it's not precancerous. Sir. Appreciate your work. Oh, thank you, Teen Idol. Oh, that's cute. I like that, Teen Idol. Yeah. So that's basically, yeah, you have to be careful with that because whenever, is it flat? Is the surface flat of that spot or raised? So, okay, any more questions on? I did have one on here. I wanted to, it's like a dry spot flat. And did you check to see if it was precancerous? So that's basically, actinic keratosis. High frequency facial treatments. They tend to work better on saggier skin. Okay, so you guys, if you guys watched that video that I had last week about the high frequency, so I actually even brought it here on this trip because I have to use it for 30 days straight. You guys look, if you watch my other video on when I started to use it versus here, it does work. Go look on that one video I did on the skin tightening one. So it's working. You can tell. So for fun. Yeah, so basically. Oh no. What do you recommend to treat those? It's irritating my broken skin. When you say open wounds, is it from the breakouts? That is really hard. So it sounds like you're having like epithelialization is that I would want to know. When you're saying referring to open wounds, is it the breakouts that you're referring to that are open? That is hard because typically with breakouts, you're using things to increase the skin cell turnover rate. And if your skin cannot heal and you're using acids and it's constantly exfoliating, it's going to definitely prolong the open wounds. What do you recommend to keep your face glowing? Okay, so this one is, again, it's that oil and moisture balance and where you are as far as, are you in a humid climate? Are you on an arid climate? Arid climate is harder. I have found to treat. Arid climate is much harder. Your skin just likes humidity more. I've noticed here, I don't have to layer on as many products here than when I'm in Southern California. That's for sure. So when it's humid, your skin doesn't need as many products. Skin picking. Oh, you're an excoriator. Okay, you're an excoriator. There's a name for that, acne excoriate. So you are, oh, well, obviously when you're constantly picking, that's more of like an emotional or, emotionally driven, like when you're bored, when you're stressed. I think that is not really, like, I am in the business of, helping people with their skin, but that is more, my question to you, Lorena, is do you notice when you tend to do that more, like when you're bored, when you're stressed out, and then try to treat it from there and actually see someone as far as maybe a counselor for that, like what your triggers are. Do you recommend? Okay, so I don't know, Margaret, what country that you're in, but we do ship internationally. There are some countries that we don't ship to, and that's because there's a lot more headaches and paperwork and all of that. So check this. I don't know what country that you are too. And also, when I had a recent upgrade with my website, it wasn't because somebody took the time out to email me and say, you used to ship to Bosnia, how come you don't anymore? And I didn't even realize it, that when it went back to its default. So I had to go in there and switch it back. So it depends on what country you're in, Margaret, because I can't help picking my skin and especially imperfections. I know, it's a psychological disorder. So that's why it's, because there's no product that is going to help your skin if you keep, like, your skin's healing, right? There's different stages of healing, and then you keep picking at it. So Lorena, you have to understand what your emotional triggers are first to heal your skin, because I can tell you all these products to use, what steps to use, but if you keep picking at your skin, it's not going to heal. So you have to figure out what your triggers are and work on them no longer being triggers. And that is more of a different type of professional than for me. I would love to help you, Lorena, but that is not my field of profession. Home facial vacuums, like the ones available in Amazon. No, I don't recommend those. Miami is when there's heat. It's depending on if you're outside a lot. The biggest struggle with heat is reducing inflammation if you're outside a lot, or if you're inside a lot with air conditioning. So then it's dehydration. Dry skin in eyebrows. You mean to make the eyebrows grow, or I'm not really sure what that means. Face massage cause wrinkles. You mean like you're doing your own face massage, or what does that mean? I'm not really sure what. It doesn't cause wrinkles unless you're doing it a certain way that's causing the wrinkles. You know what I mean? Like when you're doing the massage. Massage for the face. I've been using a facial oil. Lymph nodes slightly turning less bumpy. I'm wondering if it actually works. So basically with facial massage, I mean, it stimulates circulation, microcirculation. So of course that's going to help. It also helps with, with like lymphatic massage. That also helps. It can help with swelling and puffiness of the face. So obviously you have to do it correctly. But again, there's only a certain amount that will help with that. Skin of color. Are fermented products essence good for skin of color? Fermented products basically can help with the increase of the skin's natural microbiome of the skin. So obviously if your microbiome is off and you have more bad bacteria than good bacteria on their skin, then you can experience breakouts or fungal acne or eczema or psoriasis. So it can help, but as far as like skin of color, it has nothing to do with that. It's what is the natural microbiome of your skin. It's anxiety. I'm not sure how to adapt my skincare routine when I have broken skin and breakout at the same time. You're going to have to use things that help reduce the inflammation and really target the emotionally and psychologically driven thing that is causing you to do that. Again, when you have things that are driving that because of emotion or anxiety, even for example, like breakout prone. If someone is really stressed and they're in a stress related breakouts or stress related eczema flare-ups, you have to go to the source of it. And that's more difficult. I realize that. But for me to tell you, if you just use this product, it's going to heal, it's not. It can help it, but you have to go to the root of the problem. Just like with aging, if someone continues to eat poorly and they're using anti-aging products, it can only do so much. It might even neutralize a little bit of the oxidation, but really it starts with what you put in your mouth. You're in Nigeria. Oh gosh, what did that say? I think it said Nigeria, right? Did it say Nigeria? Oops. Tropical country and I have oily skin with dehydrated, saggy skin on the surface. What is the best skincare? I can't use creamy creams. Okay, like I said, so hydrating things can help the skin give us glow. It can increase the texture of the skin and the surface level. But if you have like saggy skin, and it depends on what you mean by saggy, because what I learned in this industry is when people use descriptive words to describe their skin, it's really subjective. So it can help firm up the skin to a point. But let's say, I'm just going to give an example. Let's say you have jowls. There's no cream that's going to perk up the face enough to no longer give you jowls. It can help the appearance of the skin, but to use something just for jowls, no. I do skincare routine 3 times a day with a mild face wash, allowed by toner, serum, moisturizer. I've been doing it over coronavirus and my skin feels fine. Okay, but I don't remember, was that a second part to the 3 times a day? Is it because you work out afterwards, or, I mean, before? What is your favorite cleansing oil? What are your thoughts on micellar water? Micellar water tends to help people who are breakout prone. Cleansing oil works better people who have oily skin and no breakouts, so they don't break out as much. Or if you're using an oily based or thicker based makeup or concealer. Mine is the one that I use and that I give to my clients. Well, I don't give it to them, but they purchase it because it tends to work better with the products that I put them on the regimen. So that's why. There's plenty of good cleansing oils out there, I'm sure. But because I've tested this on all different types of skin types, I tend to stay with that. So let's see. No, I'm not Korean. I'm Japanese descent. Oh, you're welcome. 55-year-old skin, smoothing on ordinary. Oh, shopping on the ordinary. Collagen, hydrate, smooth. All right, brighter skin is what I need. I'm not really sure what that means. Are you looking for more of a protocol? Let's see. What is your opinion on the ordinary peeling solution? That works for some people's skin, but it's not really like the product per se. It's how people use it and with what combination. So the videos I did with one in particular, the 2 people that I particularly were using that, they were using it the wrong way. So that one, that was that beauty vlogger. If you haven't caught that one, it was stop, I can't remember what it's called, stop doing this or something what beauty vloggers do. So in that one particular, she was in her early 30s and she was overdoing it because she heard exfoliating was good for the skin, and it is to a point, but it just depends on how you're using it. And most people are using that product incorrectly and different pairing. You're 34 and half Filipino. Okay, what's the other half? And then where do you live and what other products are you using it with? Would you suggest some good screen for oily skin, darker skin, and breakouts? Yeah, oily skin is a little bit iffy. I would look for example, it depends on your skin type, but zinc oxide, which reduces inflammation and doesn't tend to clog the pores if you're also exfoliating, is good, or a combination. So part physical, part chemical. Overall, I always recommend physical for, generally speaking, for overall, but there are some skin types, oily skin types, that do better with a combination of the sunscreen. Oh, that one is called Nebulift. And it was just the one that I did last week. So if you go on the thing, it talks about tightening your saggy skin. That's the one. Oh, for shipping to Nigeria. Okay, I don't ship to Nigeria because it's not economically, I think, as far as the currency goes, I think you end up paying way more for Nigeria. So I don't ship there anymore. I just feel like you pay too much. So I just don't ship there because it's not beneficial for you guys. Hydrating gel. Recommend any good moisturizers for hydrating gel. Oh, let me look that up because I don't remember the name of it. I just remember what it looks like. So I have to look it up. I'm sorry, I can't think of it at the top of my head. You mentioned earlier, the vitamin C serum that I mentioned earlier. You mean the one that was the actual L-ascorbic? That one was the SkinCeuticals, if that's what you mean, SkinCeuticals one. You mean the one that was kind of expensive? Yeah, that one. Some people found really good results with it, but like for the amount that you pay and for what I have seen with other vitamin C based products, I didn't really see that great of a difference. I mean, you guys can jump in if you used it and you feel like you had a great result. Please feel free to say that on here. That depends on your skin type and what serum you are using it for. You're Caucasian and you're in Ohio and always willing to try other products. So was it for hyperpigmentation? I'm not a big fan of bioelements. You're from Ohio. Do you know what Fitzpatrick you are, just by chance? Helps skin look younger if used consistently. For example, drinks like Skin Aid. I'd have to look at the ingredients of the Skin Aid. There is some studies showing that if you have a consistent, what was it? There was a consistent type of collagen that helps with certain types of collagen, because it's not just collagen. There's collagen 1, collagen 2, collagen 3, collagen 4. So there's certain ones that do help stimulate some types of collagen. You're welcome. To remove my eye bags. Okay. It depends on if you have puffiness of the eyes, so some puffiness, there are some eye products that help alleviate that. If you have straight on eye bags and it's genetic, you're going to have to use invasive procedures such as surgery. You can even use the microcurrent to really help alleviate that. But if it's pretty heavy duty, you're going to have to see a doctor for that. Oh, the collagen supplements. Yeah. So that's what I just answered that one here. What is the vitamin C that I use? Okay. So I was using the SkinCeuticals to do a 30-day review on that one. Now I'm using this other one, and that one it's actually 600. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this. It's like 600 or 5,000. I'm not really sure. It's times more powerful than vitamin C and more stable. So we'll see about that one. Flawless skin producing vitamin C serum. Reducing pores. So remember, reducing pores, you can't really reduce the size of your pores. I mean, you can you'll minimize the appearance of it. And a lot of it has to do with exfoliation. And then what type of vitamin C that you're using. Because we talked about it earlier, vitamin C, it depends on what type of vitamin C. Is it actually vitamin C or is it vitamin C derivative? Because some people respond better with the derivative than the actual vitamin C. Acne marks, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. If you use, what I have found with what you're saying, I have found if you use a rinse off based glycolic acid, phytic acid combination exfoliant, and then you use a lightening serum on top of it consistently, that works better for what it looks like your skin type is just from your thumbnail there. Amina, thank you very much. I tried home remedy, but still not working. Well, typically home remedies don't really work that well. Vitamin E reduce dry fine lines, and is it hydrating to skin? Can it improve my skin condition? Straight up vitamin E depends on how much vitamin E is it. Is it a vitamin E in a vitamin E like oil or cream? And it typically, in the definition of hydrate, which is to add water, if it's in an oil emulsion or like cream, it doesn't hydrate. It moisturizes the skin. So yes, it can help improve the surface level of the skin. I never used retinol. Should we start? Which company is more good? I'm 40 plus. My first question to you is that if you are used to using acidic products, then you are more likely to be a good candidate for using retinol. If you've never used any type of acidic product, you may react to the retinol, and it just may take you longer to build up a tolerance to the retinol. If you're going to use the retinol, always use sunscreen and always use it at night. I am surprised at how many people still are not aware that they should use the retinol in the evening. And sunscreen is, more people know about sunscreen generally speaking, but as I'm doing more of these online consultations, I am surprised at how many people are using retinol during the day. So vitamin E cream. Okay, so I want you to look at your ingredients and look to see if it says tocopherol acetate, and where in the ingredients list it says tocopherol acetate. Okay. No, not really to reduce eye bags, because you refer to it as eye bags again. You can look for things that have vitamin K and caffeine that can help alleviate puffiness, but not eye bags. Can you use retinol and vitamin E together? Yes. Any recommendation? Yeah, Ruby, I cannot tell you that there's a product there that actually helps reduce the eye bags, not the puffiness. I know that you trust me, and you probably would buy what I recommend, but if it's eye bags, there's really no product that's going to do the eye bags. There are some that can help reduce puffiness because of maybe you ate foods that were high in sodium the night before, or something like an environmental induced puffiness. But if you have this consistently and it's genetic and it's eye bags, your best bet is to, and you can even use that increases the circulation of the, the puffiness, and it helps reduce it. But like eye bags, that is a medical condition that you would have to see somebody for. And when we do the edited version of it, whatever questions that you had that have a website to, I will try to add that in there. So if you come back to it, because I didn't have it offhand, I will add that in there. Okay, what time is it? Okay, 3:39. I'm just going to answer a couple more and then I have to go because I'm with my family here. I'm using vitamin C and used glycolic acid too. Oh, okay. And if you didn't have any reaction to it, was the glycolic acid in a cleanser? Because that's another one. If it's in a cleanser, was it a leave-on like in a cream or an exfoliant? To use retinol at night, and I use sunblock too. Good. Yeah. And glycolic acid. So is it Amina? Is it a glycolic acid that you leave on? And is the vitamin C and is it the actual L-ascorbic acid, or is it like a vitamin C derivative? Somebody asked something too in the post. I was going to see if I can find something in the post. I can find it. Oh, somebody just wanted me to write a comprehensive book. Okay. Oh, what was the other one? Oh, I'm 52 years old, and my question is, how many products can you use in the AM and PM for mature skin, and which one? I mean, obviously, everybody has to use a cleanser and a moisturizer, and that depends on what are you trying to address. Are you trying to address really dry skin? Like when you say mature skin, that could be hyperpigmentation, it could be fine lines and wrinkles, it could be really, really dry skin. So it just depends on like what your primary concern is, where you live again, and what skin history that you had. That's a big one. Okay, whoa. Applying skincare. Turn dark and sallow after applying skincare. I would have to see your skin. Obviously, you have darker skin. I would have to see your skin, Amina. That's a really specific question. Based on what, yeah, like, do you apply it on your neck, the skincare products on your neck, and does your neck turn dark too? No, I am Japanese. Okay, so yeah, I'm Japanese, I'm not Chinese, and I'm married. So sorry. Yeah, sorry. I have tan skin. Are you Fitzpatrick 4? Tan skin. No, the neck doesn't turn dark. Okay, let's see. I don't know. I'd have to look to see. That may be, it could even be that your skin is not permanently dark and just ashy from what the products are in there. Like sunscreen, I know that for some people, their skin actually does turn darker, like more of like an ashy color. And if you're wearing makeup too, because you know that when you wear makeup, whatever color that you're using, once makeup is exposed to air and oil, it starts to oxidize. So you notice that the color changes as the day wears on. You're European. Okay. So, are you going to ask a skincare question? I have sensitive skin. Yep. So if you have sensitive skin, that may be a form of when a fair person uses something and their skin turns like pink or red, it may be some inflammation going on. But again, because I can't see your face, it's only based on what you are telling me. So that sensitive skin, that kind of explains that. Can I use niacinamide retin-A together? So like in a cream form, is it in a cream together, or do you mean like separately, like the niacinamide is a serum and the retin-A is a cream, I'm assuming? Micro tears. What is the best way to reverse micro tears? Well, I mean, what are you using? Are you using like a really abrasive scrub, or did you do microdermabrasion, or I mean, what? Because the only way that you can do that is you have to stop and let the skin heal. Is L'Oreal moisturizer good after my serum? I'm not a big fan of L'Oreal, I have to say. Layer. You can layer it, sure. Dry Sheila, sometimes twice a day. Feel dry after the shower. Arby, are you using a moisturizer afterwards? And if you do, make sure your skin is slightly moist. So not completely dry, but slightly moist. And then apply your moisturizer. And that will both bind the water as well as help seal it in separately. Huh? Layer. Yeah. I mean, yes, you can use it. Yes, you can use it separately. Yeah. At night, could I apply ascorbic acid, then vitamin A palm mixed with jojoba and aloe gel? Is that something you're making, or is it an actual product? Because it's not just about the ingredient, it's the percentage of it and what type of product it is. Meaning, is it a cream? Is it a gel? Is it a serum? So I understand that you guys are being focused on the ingredients, which you should be, but a lot of it has to do with what the ingredient, how is it in that formulation? The destroyer is coming. I love it. What is the best collagen powder? I don't know yet. I'm not really sure. This is a whole new market area that I think a lot of companies see a bunch of cha-ching signs. I'm not sure. There is a research paper I came across. I have not finished reading it because it's kind of long. And they actually did studies on a particular type of combination of the collagen. So let me get back to you on that. And I'm sure a lot of collagen powders are okay. I did come across a couple of them, the less expensive ones that had maltodextrin, which is a type of sugar that can be derived from corn or wheat or rice. So why have that in there, right? I would not, I mean, there's plenty of collagen powders that do not add sugars in there. What ingredient would you recommend for dehydrate sensitive skin? I don't use makeup since it's sensitive. Well, okay, I don't, again, like I just kind of answered the question as far as the ingredient is important, but what is it in? But here's some, just to kind of answer your question. Beta glucan reduces inflammation. Zinc oxide reduces inflammation. Lavender, you have to be careful, but lavender oil has some anti-inflammatory properties in there. But some people are sensitive to essential oils too. It's basically the same thing, but like beta glucan is derived typically from oat. But if you see anything that's derived from oat, it's anti-inflammatory. I'd have to have like my products here, so I can just, like, when I look at them, you know, I can just like name them off. So it just depends. Dehydrated sensitive skin would be then beta glucan, because if you have dehydrated sensitive skin, you need water binding molecules plus the go to my website and it'll list some of them. And look under serums. Oops. Right. That one works really well with people who have rosacea or telangiectasia. So if you're making it, that is, I don't typically like making it because it's just not, if not that you guys have, but for any of those of you who have toured in a facility where they manufacture products and the sanitation and disinfection protocols that they have to go through when working in manufacturing these products, obviously a lot of them is done by machine now, is so strict that when you're making these things in your kitchen, it's a science, right? And so you have to get it right, especially when you start using advanced skincare. So I am personally not a big proponent of stuff being made in your kitchen because there's so many times when bacteria and yeast can get into them. Um, I'm just not a big proponent of that, unless, of course, you are somebody who is a professional in making them in small batches. So I don't like to use lotions on my skin. Is there a way to keep it moist naturally? Well, I mean, you could use, what about gel? I mean, you could use aloe vera gel if you're in a place that's really humid. That could work for you. A combination of a gel or oil, but I don't know if you don't like lotions, you may not like even oil. But you're going to have to use something if your skin is really dry. Well, Amina, in order for you to show the skin, you're probably going to have to do a skin consultation, because really, for me to give you very specific protocols with a license, I have to do it that way. Okay, different is fine. I mean, if you're using it for the treatment of, acne and breakouts, I mean, just as long as you use sunscreen, I don't think there's anything wrong with different when you use it as directed. I don't ever recommend using um, different or Epiduo or any of those things long term. See, I know. Yeah, SkinCeuticals vitamin C is costly. Yeah, no denying that. Okay. Whoa. Hold on. Body good and glowing. Again, that just depends on the person. Make sure you exfoliate your body. A lot of people don't do that. They don't exfoliate their body. And so when they put lotion on there, when they put the lotion on, their skin starts to like rub off. That means you really need to exfoliate on that. What's a really good one is the one I got from Trader Joe's, called, what is the name of it? I can picture the container. It's a tube, and it's a lavender one. I was looking at the ingredients, and that one's a really good one. I don't remember the name of it. The coloring is white, purple, and green, I think. I don't remember the name of it. That one's actually a pretty good one. Mineral sunscreen, thank you. I would recommend, it depends on what you mean by active ingredient for sunscreen. Is it a chemical or physical? But if it's a physical, I would recommend like 20, 21%. That's a good amount of sunscreen on there. Okay. Combination in 30s a night before to ensure it's glowing in the morning and doesn't look puffy or tired. Well, okay, the puffy or tiredness has nothing to do with the product, obviously. When you have a nice glow, again, like I mentioned before, it's basically showing you have a nice, good balance of oil and water in your skin. And that's going to be different from everyone. Obviously, if you have puffiness, it could be that you're eating too much sodium, or a certain type of preservative can make people look puffy. Doesn't look tired. Are you getting enough sleep? Because tired can be a lot of different things, right? Tired can mean dark circles, or your skin looks sallow, things like that. I've stopped using scrubs for a while, but micro tears are still there. Is it a permanent issue? Whoa, what kind of scrubs are you using that you have these micro? Are the micro tears visible? Because you must be scrubbing really hard if it's like visible. What is a good way to treat post-inflammatory hypopigmentation or hyperpigmentation? Hypopigmentation is the lack of pigmentation, and that is irreversible, which means jiggling the table. So that, I think you mean hyperpigmentation. hyperpigmentation. What is a good way to treat hyperpigmentation? So if it's like from acne, I would say an exfoliating scrub that has jojoba esters. So it's a softer type of bead, but it has exfoliating products in the product that have lighteners and brighteners in there as well. Oh my gosh. Why is it like that? Anti-aging serum. Okay, so if you're outside a lot, I'm assuming that it's really sunny, then I would use more vitamin C products. Again, I have to look at your skin. If you're finding that the hyaluronic acid, your skin looks more dehydrated, then maybe using products that have more, you may need to layer more, or using things that have polyglutamic acid in there because it creates a film in there, or like the beetroot powder that creates a hydrofilm in there. Anything that has a form of humectants and polysaccharides in there, it creates this nice film over the skin. Oh, you're welcome, Janelle. Okay. I and Melinda are facing same problems. It sounds like it. Mist during the day. Thank you. Hydrating facial mist. If your skin, what's in the facial mist? If it's just water, like a lot of times hydrating mist will be like rose water, rose essence, and water. Well, if it's dry climate and you're just putting water, it's just going to end up dehydrating your skin. So if it has some type of like kind of like a film forming thing on there, it's fine. If you're in a real humid area, you don't even need the mist, really, if it's like really humid. So I think that's it. Okay, so I'm just going to take one more question and then I have to go. I can hear somebody in the next room munching, eating snacks. So okay. Oh, you're welcome, Amina. I appreciate that. You know, I'm always looking at the camera. When I look, so right now, when I'm looking at the camera, does it look like I'm looking at you? Or if I'm looking at myself? Oh, wait, if I'm looking at myself, then I'm just looking down, huh? I guess if I look at the camera, it looks like I'm looking at you. Okay. Okay, so I guess that's it for now. So I'll just end it there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this down. And what I do with the edits, it takes a long time, but then we put timestamps and then we put the links of what you're asking in there so you can go back and then refer to it. So I found that that's helpful based on the DMs that I am getting and the emails that I'm getting. So that will help as well too. Okay, so I'm going to end it right there. I hope you guys found it helpful, and then I will talk to you soon, okay? Oh, okay, I guess it is there. Okay, I'm so inexperienced with this kind of stuff. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good week. And for those of you who are waiting for my correspondence, you guys know I'm on vacation, and when I get back, I will attend to all of your product questions and all of that. And if you ordered something, I did say we can't get to that until next week. Okay? Because a lot of it I had to order the stuff and the shipment is still at UPS and I gotta go pick them up. Okay. All right, bye guys. Okay.